What's up, guys? Basin here, coming at you with another episode of our six-part journey across the uh, Death World cycle for Warhammer Conquest living card game, Warhammer 40k Conquest living card game. And you know what? Let's unleash the warp today. So let's jump into this warp pack and check out what we find in here. Alright, again, as you guys can see, this is a brand new Warpack, so this will be my first hand look at these cards. This is the final one we are missing against the great enemy. That will be the fifth one. This is the sixth one that we saw come out. So here is our pack. Here is our little story card, and here is the front cover. Of course, the plastic. So we should see our new Chaos Warlord. I know it has a Chaos Warlord in it. I don't know what it does, because I've done an extreme amount of effort not checking what these cards do on the Traxxas sector. And I wanted to give you guys first-hand experience of these war packs as I crack them open. And I hope you enjoy that. And if you do, you can always leave a like. Up to you. Alright, let's start with our Warlord as we do usually. Okay, so he's called Vashailer. God, just call him Wash. We're gonna call him Wash. He is a Slaanesh unit, 1877, so, you know, big butt. Has area effect 1, that's big. Area effect 1 and a reaction that says, after an enemy army unit is destroyed, while this unit is attacking, put a cultist token into play at your HQ, limit once per attack. This is gonna work beautifully with some of those cards that we've unwrapped for Unforgiven, previous video, because apparently he cares about cultist tokens. There's some really good synergies there with cultist tokens. On his bloodied side, he is a 1/6, which is still very dangerous. And I mean, I really want to find out what's the story behind this guy, because he looks like he's wearing Space Marines armor, but he looks like a lion, and he got some cool purple jetpack thing going on, which obviously is part of his armor. So that is amazing. I really like the art on this guy. Why is he a lion? I don't even know if he's supposed to be a lion. I don't know. Let's look at his signature units. Well, we got 4 copies of Alluring Demonettes. So Demon, Slaanesh, obviously gonna be a bit cheaper with the Cultist. It's a 3/2 with 1 hammer. That's not bad for 3. Combat action, sacrifice a cultist unit you control to move an enemy army unit at an adjacent planet to this planet. So more chaos, moving about stuff. That is cool. Art is interesting. I would definitely put it more to a Dark Eldar kind of look. Maybe it's just because it's purple. I don't know, but it's a very decent signature unit. I mean, as long as you have a cultist to play it for only a 2 cost, then obviously she's even better. Now, the immediate problem I'm thinking is, if turn 1, obviously I go attack with Vash here, he's only going to start to give me cultist tokens if he successfully destroys the unit. Now, with the area effect 1, that's probably going to be occurring, hopefully, more than not. So, like casualties, you know, the little guys maybe sent up to do some command struggles. So, more likely than not, Alluring Demon that's not going to be coming down before turn 2, maybe turn 3. Is that okay for a signature unit? I don't know. You will be the judge of that. Does this make Vash any worse? No, because you still get a bunch of synergies with this card being a demon, with this card being able to eat cultists and change the board state. Maybe this is more of a late game Warlord rather than like a rush kind of setup. Then we get his signature support, Tower of Worship, cool. Slanesh location costs 1 reaction after you deploy a demon unit. Put a cultist token into play at your HQ. You get this out, basically, that's just so good. You're going to be shitting out cultist tokens from left, right, and center. There's so much stuff, there's so much new stuff in Wave 3 that gives you more cultists, brings back, demons even stronger, just does everything what Chaos does. Just, more of that, which I think is okay. I think that's cool. That's the strength of Chaos since the core set. Get the cultists down, make the demon cheaper. Give us cheap demons. This is a cheap demon. You can play for 2, maybe you can play for 1. You could even play for free if you got the Splinter Path Acolyte out. Then she's gonna come out for free. You're gonna be able to replace 1 cultist token with a cultist token. That's a fair game. That's pretty cool. This on turn 1 or turn 2 when you play this, you're gonna be so happy. 2 signature events: Demonic Incursion, a 1-cost event with 1 shield. It's a power event, importantly, so we can bring him back with that elite guy. I can't remember his name. And as an action, search the top 6 cards of your deck for a demon unit, reveal it, add it to your hand, and put the remaining cards of the bottom of the deck in it. This is a fantastic, beautiful card. Not only is it draw power, it's actually a fairly good search card. It's basically almost an Earthcast Technician. It's on an event though, and because it's a power event, you can bring it back. That's fantastic. That's really good. Let's find that unit real quick that brings back power events. I'm gonna find it. Is that like a signature unit maybe for one of these guys? I hope it isn't, because that's a problem. I don't know. I do know there is a demon unit that brings back a power event from the discard somehow. You bring this Demonic Incursion back, you just carry on searching your deck for demons. This is an absolutely brilliant card for Vash here. I love it. And his signature attachment, Predatory Instinct, it is a skill. You can attach it to any chaos unit you control, and attached unit gains area effect 1. That's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. I'm looking at this guy and I'm like, this is such a solid, just have fun with chaos, no effing about, just play cultists and demons, and that's so good. I really like this Warlord, actually. I really like this Warlord. I think this is a Warlord that just does what Chaos does really well, and have fun with it, kind of thing. It's really cool. Okay, let's see our Space Marines. We get some Iron Hands Elite here. A 5-cost 3 hammer 3/7. That's I think that's good stats for an elite unit. And while this unit is ready, Each unit with printing cost 2 or lower at this planet cannot be declared as an attacker. So it also makes sure that the little guys ain't gonna ping him to death. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, would I play this instead of the tank that stops non-vehicles being hit by effects? Depends. In the right deck, yeah, probably. That 3 hammer is good for sure. But then for Space Marines, you know, these 5 cost elite units have usually 3 hammers. 3/7 is a respectable buddy. It's also very usual, typical Space Marine stuff that it's a 3 attack. So you know what you're gonna needs a bolter. He needs a bolter. He needs area effect. Maybe he needs ranged. I think he needs ranged. That's what makes that card playable. Okay, we get a 6 cost Dark Angels Elite card here. Here is a Land Speeder Vengeance with only 1 hammer. It's a 4/3, and it has area effect 3, and it has flying. That's good. I mean, now you can just pretty much build a deck almost completely area effects for Space Marines. Would you want to do that? The flying is good for the 3 health. If he had 4 health, it would have, yeah. It's a difficult one. But then it's a vehicle, so you can bring in a bunch of towel stuff. So yeah, I can definitely see the appeal. Area effect 3 is just so good. Is there even like a card that's on its own with area effect 3? I don't know. I don't think so. The area effect 3 is just like you just mow down everything that's ahead of you pretty much, or set them up to be then killed. You want to have the initiative with this, but then come on, that's then sorted. So interesting how I said this card needs area effect, the next card has area effect 3. Coincidence? No, aliens. And then we get a 3 cost location. However, it is a relic. Standard of Devastation. So it's a relic, you can only have 1 in play, and after a Dark Angels unit you control is destroyed, each other Space Marines army unit you control gets +1 attack until the end of the phase. You know who's Dark Angels? Vezuel. So this is clearly for that deck. That's pretty sweet actually. It's a bit expensive, but actually, I don't know. This is quite expensive for what it does. It is situational. It's a relic, so you can't have your STC out to be able to play this. After Dark Angel, your control destroyed. You can play around this. I don't think it's as good. It's not very good. Let's move on. We have Astro Militarium, the Mars Alpha Exterminator. 6 cost 2 hammer 4/6. Vehicle tank elite. And play it with a Maxim, obviously. After his unit is declared as an attacker, destroy either a target army unit with print cost 2 or lower at this planet, or a target token unit at this planet. Okay. Yeah, definitely. Like there's no, they can't shield that. Get rid of a token, get rid of a 2 or lower cost. I think you're gonna be, I mean, if you can play clever, you're gonna be 2 for 1-ing off that card, of this card, the turn you play it. Because it's gonna kill a bunch of stuff with that 4 attack, but because you can go ahead, you destroy a 2 cost, and then you hopefully destroy something else, something with like a 2 or 3 health card that your opponent can't necessarily shield against. But just the fact that if it comes down and if it does get to attack, it just straight up destroys a 2 or lower cost, or a token. I think that's good value. I think this is a expensive but definitely usable card. It does stuff. Question is, after seeing all these cards, would anybody still play with 2 or lower costs? So it could be a whiff. You know, you put it in and nobody's playing with those stuff because there's so much stuff out that destroys them. And then the whole reverse psychology. But if nobody plays with those, then nobody should play with these. If nobody plays with these, I'm going to bring back the 2 or lower costs. Anyway, here we go. We have a 2-cost support jungle trench location. Combat action. Exhaust this support to prevent 1 damage assigned from each attack made by a non-warlord unit this combat round. From each attack made by a non-warlord unit. This basically stops area effect 1, doesn't it? This just says if a non-warlord unit area attack once, that basically is going to be all prevented if you exhaust this support. Yeah. Just first thing you do is you tap this. If you have the initiative or ranged combat phase, if you got a ranged guy out, first thing you do is you tap this, and then for the combat round, all your guys will take 1 less damage from all non-warlord units. That's pretty good. Again, that's good because it's giving you a bunch of protection potentially, and that will make your shield cards more valuable as well. Let's look at orcs. We have the Follower of Gork. It's a 2-cost army unit with 1 hammer, and it's a 1/3 warrior. That's already good. Each elite unit you control at this planet gains interrupts. When this unit is assigned damage, reduce that damage by 2. Or was it Mork? Was it Gork or Mork? That's a good card for an elite deck. It is also not loyal, so you can put this into Astro Militarium. You can go ahead and defend your guy that pings the 2 or lowers. You can reduce by 2 here. You can reduce with another one there. Get a bunch of damage prevention for Astro Militarium. When this unit is assigned damage, reduce that damage by 2. So yeah, I mean that's chaos as well. Chaos as well. You just throw it in there, and all those big demons, they got more of a damage. Now obviously, this guy will be removed as soon as possible. That's why it's got the 3 health. Give it a bit more of a robustness. You probably want to keep this guy alive because it's saving you a bunch of damage on your elites whilst he's out. And we got a 2-cost support called the Fungal Turf. Pretty cool art there. It's a location, and as a headquarters action, sacrifice the support to put X Snotling tokens into play, divided among any number of planets. X is the highest printed cost among units you control. So if you got a big ass elite unit out, well, I mean, to be fair, cheapest elite unit will be probably a 5 cost. So you sack this guy for 2 cost, you get 5 Snotling tokens. The problem here is its headquarters action. That's problematic. Headquarters action is problematic. Okay, for Dark Eldar, we get Beastmaster Harvester. It is an elite unit. You can deep strike it for 4, otherwise it's a 5 cost with 2 hammer, 2/5. It's warrior, Beastmaster, and elite, and it's also not loyal. After you deep strike this unit, put 2 Chimera tokens into play at this planet. Okay. It's not bad, for sure. Basically getting an elite for 4. No, it's not going to be 4, it's still going to be 5, because you have to pay the 1 and then 4 to deep strike, so there's no money to be saved here. But he does come out with 2 Chimera tokens. That can be a bit of a surprise, because basically you put 6 damage on the board. 2 hammers, it's not a loyal unit, but it's kind of like, come on, let's be honest. You will probably want to play this in Kiev if you would want to play this. You want the den, you want the Chimera then to move these around. This isn't a bad card, as per se. If this didn't have Deep Strike, it was just a 5, or even if this was a 6 cost elite, did the same thing, I'd be more likely to play it, because then I could obviously, and it was like, when this card comes into play, put 2 Chimera tokens at play at the planet, blah blah blah. You could make it cheaper with STC. If it was a 6 cost, you could play it obviously for 4, tapping the STC. Then this card would be better. It's not bad, but it's also not super great. Putting down 6 power is okay. Putting it down on 3 different units, situational. We also got the Hydra Stalker. It's a 3 cost arm unit. Again, no command icon, and it's a 2/3. And after you deploy this unit, deal 2 damage to a target unit with printed cost 2 or lower. So it's attacking some Eldar drone there, which is pretty cool. There is an Eldar drone that comes down for 2. It's just a straight up vanilla warrior, I think it's 2/4, something like that. But again, it doesn't have any command units, and if I pay 3 for an army unit, I would really like it to have at least 1 command unit, command icon. Yeah, it's cool that you deal 2 damage, but you know, the unit needs to have a printing cost of 2 or lower. It can also be shielded. Let's move on. This card is not, I don't know, it just leaves a bit of a bad taste in my mouth. Eldar. We have the Scorpion Striker, a Deep Strike unit. It's a 4 cost Warhammer 3/3. It's okay, but you Deep Strike it for 2, so you save some money on it. And after you Deep Strike this unit, exhaust a target non-elite army unit at this planet. That's really good. I will happily play this with Eldorath, or even Althway. Yeah, I think Althway is the one who cares about warriors and psychers. But the one thing I was looking at the other day, like just changing around my Eldorath deck a little bit, and I was really looking for more cards that allows me to like tap something. And there was like nothing really viable. You got the 4 cost guy, which is a 1/4 if it's declared as an attacker. I think it taps. I think this is better. You get a better buddy. It's a 3/3. There's the element of surprise. With the Deep Strike, it costs less as well. Now, the problem here I can see is, unless you really include something else that also Deep Strikes for Eldar, this is going to be very predictable that you're playing with this. Even though obviously it will come down in reserve, your opponent's not going to know what this is. If they only see that you're always Deep Striking with this guy, it will be predictable. And of course it doesn't hit elite, which can be a problem. It's not a huge problem for Eldorath, because you're just then going to tap their elite with Eldorath. You send it up, and then Eldorath comes down, but then this guy can swing in for 3. This is really good for Eldorath. This is a very solid card. I would run this in Eldorath. 2 of definitely. Yeah. I mean, I don't even care about the command there, because you would want to play the command game with other shit. That's a good card. I like. To me, that's a good card for Eldar. And we got a 4 cost event, so that better be good. 1 shield. It's a power keyword there, or whatever it is. Power. It's just power. As a deploy action, exhaust up to 2 units, each with printed cost X or lower. X is equal to the highest printed cost among units you control. So it seems like every faction gets something like this. You do something compared to the highest printed cost among units you control. Now the fact that you get to exhaust 2 units is very good. It's a deploy action, which is not necessarily great, because you're not going to care about stuff that's in your opponent's HQ that's going to come up tapped anyway. So what you want to do is kind of stop command game with this, stuff that your opponent put out on different planets rather than the first one. Will you have 4 money early game? No. Later game, will there be much importance around the command game that you cannot deal with only with this card? No. And you need to have a big unit out to make this work as well. Put it in the folder and forget about it. Move on to Tau. A 5-cost 2/6 elite crude creature. No command icons again. No attachments, so it better be bloody good. Combat action. This unit gets plus X attack until the end of the phase. X is the number of resources in your resource pool. Well, this definitely is designed for a crude deck, isn't it? Are we gonna see a crude Warlord? Well, I know the answer to that. No. Not in the third Warpack cycle, and that's the last cycle that came out officially, so they were setting up crude, obviously there's a bunch of crude, like the guy that comes down for 3, if it's destroyed you get 3, the other guy swings you get 1, so it does a bunch of that stuff, which is really cool, but it's just not, that there isn't enough there. You need the crude Warlord, and it's not there. It doesn't exist in the original print of the cards, so that's a bit of a shame. Would you otherwise run this? I probably would, because it's a 5-cost army unit, so you can make it cheaper with the STC. You can play this for 3 if you have the STC, so that will already save you money. Now, if you have, let's say if you got like 3-4 money left in your resource pool, then for a 5-cost you get a swing in for 5 or 6. You can't have any attachments though, so you can't give it an ion rifle. You can't give it anything. I think that's a big problem, that it can't take any attachments. I don't know. Hunter's Ploy. A 0-cost event for Tau. Let's see. It's a reaction. After the headquarters phase begins, each player gains resources equal to the highest printed cost among units he controls. Okay. There you go. There's your combo. You bring down the Raging Crew. Tox. If you play for 3 with the STC, you've saved yourself. If this was the turn you played the STC, you save yourself 1 money. Then you go ahead and play Hunter's Ploy, and not only will you break even, you actually made extra money on this, because you're gonna get 5 money. And if you played only the STC fragment and this, then you paid 4. You get 5 back. You've more than doubled your money. That's pretty cool. Where else would you play Hunter's Ploy? It's I mean, this makes good money. Interesting to see that this Dark Eldar has a few of these cards that it has gotten slash, I think. Particularly noteworthy there. And to be fair, oh shit, each player gains. Oh man. Well, I don't want to give my opponent money, so let's completely forget about that. Jesus Christ, why would I want to give my opponent money? Oh, right, so, okay. On further analysis, ladies and gentlemen, I would get 5 money. If my opponent happens to have their biggest unit is 3 cost, then they get 3 money. That's still too much. Like, no, it's too risky. Let's see the Tyranids. We got the Slavering Moloch, a 6-cost army unit. Again, no command icons, just 3/6, but you can deep strike it for 3. So technically, you're gonna spend 4 money on this guy. And after you deep strike this unit, it gains armor bane until the end of the phase. So, okay, for 4 you get a 3/6 armor bane for 1 turn. That's also a Leviathan and an elite. I don't play Tyranids to know whether the Leviathan means much. I know that elite would mean much, and it does mean quite a lot actually. The only thing is obviously you can't STC this guy, but you wouldn't want to because you're saving money when you deep strike this anyway, so that's not a problem. I think Armor Bane is probably one of the strongest keywords that we have in the game. Don't know how much stuff Tyranids have, but this to me looks like a good unit. Now this is the kind of unit that you just want to throw into the battle. Make sure you get obviously the armor being through with this guy. Whatever happens to it afterwards, it's probably going to soak up some good damage, but why would your opponent want to attack it again? It's done its thing, and then it's a 3/6 vanilla. Yes, it's an elite, and if we can give it some stuff with elite, that would be good. We also need to think about backlash. We need to think about even no mercy, although that wouldn't give you the deep strike value again. Backlash certainly a good one there, to be obviously a worthy user of backlash. And we get armored shell attached to an arm unit you control. This is for 2 cost, and the art is phenomenal, by the way. That's absolutely brilliant, that art. So 2 cost, 1 shield, reaction. After attached unit is assigned damage by an attack, prevent all but 2 of that damage. So that's cool. Again, it can be a million, but it will bring it down to 2 damage. So that's pretty cool to basically keep any of your big guys around for much longer, and particularly if you see extra benefit of that particular unit. I think you've immediately found your target for the armored shell. And then finally, let's look at Necrons. We have a 4-cost vehicle with 3 hammers, and it's a 3/3 unit, no war gear attachments. And as a command action, discard a non-Necron card from your hand to move this unit to an adjacent planet. First of all, this is mostly really only going to go to a Nahumic deck, which is not good, in my opinion at least. I haven't really played around much with what would be a good construction for that deck, but you just basically have a pseudo-mobile, you have to discard, you can only move it in the command phase around. The moving it around the command phase as a command action, that's the command action is at the end of the command phase. So you win a command with this guy, and then you can move it around if you want to. It could win you the first planet, and then you move it on to the next planet by discarding 1 card. But then you basically, if you drew a card from your first planet, that's now gone to move this guy around. And the 3/3 for 4, I'm just not convinced really. This would be better if it was an elite. And then finally, our final card is the Shard of the Deceiver. It's a 7-cost 2-hammer XX Satan elite unit. X is equal to the number of cards in your discard pile. And as a 4th reaction, after a phase or combat round at this planet begins, discard a card. If you have no cards in your hand, discard this unit. So this is going to be an absolute beast, as long as you can make sure that you always have cards in your hand. Now, if you're discarding for shit like this, you're not going to end up having cards in your hand. To have enough cards in your hand, you will have to play the command game. The whole cycle is about killing the command game. So how are you expected to kind of keep this guy around realistically is what I'm thinking. you would just need to have a bunch of different card draws, and I'm thinking about, okay, well, um, if I want to play with my graveyard recursion um, in Necron, then I will want to have a lot of my cards in a graveyard, uh, which is good for this guy, obviously. But you can't expect a player to be able to purely play the game out of their discard pile and what's on the board. Something that obviously Necron isn't really good at is these combat tricks. There's a couple of events they have. There isn't anything that's like outstandingly good. And what you get is a big dumb unit. You play it, your opponent's not gonna go there. You will have to spend a bunch of other stuff to basically move it around. Um, it can be played around quite easily. Now, if you're unprepared, if this guy pops up, yeah, that could be a problem. I don't know if there's any way to like play this guy with ambush. Um, even if it did, even if you can play this guy with ambush, the art is great though. Like, and it's a Satan unit, so that's pretty cool as well. Shard of the Deceiver, how cool is that? You just really have to control that you have cards in your hand. But after a phase or a combat round at this planet begins, just that you constantly, there's no way you're gonna keep up with being able to discard for this guy to keep it, to sustain it in the game long enough after you spend 7 resources to play this guy. That's ridiculous. That's... Sorry to finish on such a low low end, but the Warlord is great. Vash is really good, just kind of brings it back full circle, does what Core Set Chaos was already set out to do, which I think is really cool. Also, Warlord with an area effect 1, that's pretty cool as well. Warlords in the cycle are really good. I don't think I've been disappointed by any of them. Some of the cards are questionable because in my analysis they kind of go against what the other cards want to do. Like, okay, don't play the little cards, don't play anything under the cost of 2 because all the cards are going to kill that stuff. But then if you're not playing the command game, you're not going to be able to sustain cards like this, for example. There's no way to do it. You're not going to get enough resources coming in. So, I hope you like this video, guys. Leave the thumbs up down below if you did. If not, leave the thumbs down or whatever. And up until next time, I'll see you sign out.